Hello, hola, привет. Welcome to this episode of the Sprachenzentrum's Minding Your Language series. Today we'll be looking at dictionaries. Yes, by now everyone will have tried out a few and will probably have a favorite, but I'm sure I'll be able to surprise you with a few facts that are new. However, let's start with what we know.
Quick reminder.
Every dictionary should give us some basic information. The word class, the pronunciation of the word, the definition or definitions, and if we're lucky, one or two examples. Now, in some cases this may be enough, but there will be situations that require more. Here's Sarah having to submit a paper in English. She's struggling with a gap in her writing. She's not sure whether the word she's looked up fits into the gap. So she'll ask John, who gives advice at the Writing Centre of Riverbend University. John is indeed able to help. I've got just what you need, the online Longman dictionary. Naturally, it provides the same information that you find in your run-of-the-mill dictionary. However, the Longman dictionary does a lot more for you. It provides examples from a corpus. What is a corpus? The corpus is a collection of texts, written or spoken, that is transferred into a database. Longman uses a corpus that is based on texts from books and newspapers or speeches and TV programs. That is how it is able to reflect the broad variety of ways in which English is used by native speakers. The corpus website also includes lots of tools to analyze those examples, but that's more than we need right now. Now, the Longman provides just a selection of sentences from a corpus, and to make it easier for the user, the main word appears in bold. There may be some common phrases without further context, but usually you get a collection of full sentences. You could try to find what you need or simply be inspired by what you see. The sentences for dysfunctional, for example, show you that the word can be used in connection with abstract nouns like attitudes or assumptions, or with physical entities like proteins or teachers. That should give you a good idea of the area in which the word can be used. Das ist ja mal eine wirklich nützliche Information. That's a very useful piece of information. Was that what I was just thinking? I didn't know that this is how it is said in English. Yes, that's something few learners know, and it is something that can be found if you know what to look for. In the Longman, you can find grammatical information about common mistakes. Along with the phrase we've just encountered, you see that information is not used in the plural. There's another dictionary that provides a section on common mistakes, the Macmillan dictionary. However, if you want to use this to improve your English, you need to be able to see immediately what is correct and what isn't. So why not make a screenshot and mark it for yourself? Now let's continue with how we use words. A good dictionary often provides a list of collocations. We see which words are commonly used together. This can be done in a simple list. For instance, for adjectives to be used with the word information, but of course also for verbs. Ideally, as in the Longman dictionary, with sample sentences. What makes such a list even more useful, though, is when those collocations are ordered according to meaning. We are given a certain concept like correctness or timing, and the dictionary provides a list of similar words that can all be used with our head word. This brings me to another interesting feature, the Thesaurus. A thesaurus is a book or a website that contains lists of words that have a similar meaning. Just be sure to note that those words are not all synonyms, but that's a topic for another time. Let's explore the thesaurus function of the Macmillan dictionary. First, you find a little more information about each word, and then you can call up the entry for any word that interests you. That should enable you to introduce more variation into your vocabulary and improve your writing and speaking. It will expand your understanding of the language and help your awareness of how extensive and versatile English really is. But wait, there's more. First of all, we find the most frequent words that can be derived from and are related to the word we've looked up. We see which nouns, adjectives, verbs and adverbs exist, which suffixes are used to create those words, and which prefixes are used to add meaning. Now, do we use a certain word only informally when speaking with our friends, or do we use it only in writing? Check your dictionary. There can be tips on false friends or specific situations. The explanations themselves always start with the most common meaning. You can find out how common a word is. Awareness, for example, is marked as being of medium frequency. We can also see that it is in the top 3,000 words used in writing, and we learn that it is on the academic word list. Are you interested in yet more dimensions of being able to use a word well? Then look beyond the initial entry. You'll find what a word means when used in a business context. You'll be guided to fixed expressions or to other entries like compounds. And you'll also find meanings restricted to American or British English. Now let's just quickly recap. A good dictionary provides a corpus view, collocations, information on usage like register and frequency, grammatical information, and a thesaurus function for further alternatives. Check out other dictionaries for these features as well. There are many good dictionaries available. For instance, the Merriam-Webster. And if this has got you hooked, try some additional features such as quizzes, the buzzword, the phrase of the week, and grammar videos, or hot topics, quizzes, word of the day, and pictures of the day. Have fun with these dictionaries, keep exploring, and check out other videos in this series. Пока, hasta luego, and goodbye. See you next time.